Welcome back, Divine Feminine. Yes, a very interesting month, as all of us may be really feeling at this point in time. And I am seeing from your crowning energy already, you are looking at the bigger picture in your life. And I do feel this is we have had a testing energy for a couple of months, especially as feminines. And that is particularly because we do have the South Node in Libra being a Venus sign. Transits really linking to Venus for retrograde. And now we had the eclipse in Libra and moving into the eclipse in Taurus. So they're all very Venusian energies. And this does mean thus a lot of feminines are going through radical changes. Definitely in the media, we can see that there is a lot of subjects to do with females. This can be females going into dominant roles, females becoming more assertive. We've seen the likes of Rihanna, Beyonce, the Barbie movie. All of these things are really divine feminine. Really having a transformation and a change. Now we have the 9 energy, and I do feel from a spiritual point of view, both linking to your twin flame path and linking to your life, you are looking at the bigger picture. Some of us can feel we've had these huge downloads and huge revelations, but particularly we are moving into another eclipse. So just as we get our bearings, there could be another cycle that is coming up to cycle out that can redirect us even further. So it's a lot to digest this month. You need to be very gentle with yourself. And I would particularly feel you can feel a little bit of pressure, but I do see this as a very positive energy. And this can be that you're taking on a new approach and dealing with counterpart and dealing with your twin flame path and dealing with your life point blank zero. Now, here is the overall energy. We are going to look at the top row. Again, I do feel the past is really going to be giving you some signatures of what you can change. You might not have had the tools back then to be able to do it. Some of you also can feel quite run down and that some of your power has been taken from you. But I do think in the heart of it, it is about, I don't feel you want to manipulate a situation. I feel the empowerment, it's like with great power comes great responsibility. That's kind of the analogy that is given to me. Again, with the Jupiter energy, with the energy of your life moving forward, you're not quite sure how this is going to go. This is causing, I wouldn't say chaos. I do feel you're coming out of chaos, but you are reflecting back of the chaos you moved through. Some of you also are believing that counterpart can't transform and change. This also could have been at a very personal level changes that you've gone through with your purpose, be it it's employment or other. There also can be an ending to a situation. I'm hearing red aura, the old me's dead and gone, and it feels more an analogy of some things won't work. So some information can be coming through to you as well. This could be communication, but I definitely feel you are definitely looking at the circumstance that for those of you that have no communication, if communication was to come in, it does need to be very different. I do feel you're overall looking at the bigger picture and you're opening up your horizons. You're like realizing that the world is your oyster and you're coming to an acceptance that an old chapter and an old story is over and you're taking a new approach. So the bigger picture is it is the journey and it's the destination, both hand in hand. But at the same time, I feel the way in which you're tackling this, the way in which you're viewing the circumstance this week in the mix could really spiritually change. But to try and be positive, but I do think you're having an expanded view of these circumstances and you are really looking at the bigger picture of your life. I do feel you've taken time to really reflect upon who you are as a person and really what you're looking for, both in all facets of life. This can be to do with your health. It can be to do with your twin flame partnership, but definitely all of those things in a healthy way, in a spiritual way. You've really reviewed your values. Some of you also are looking at body language and how things, how your communication style has evolved. I also feel that there is a note that you know what doesn't make you happy. You also could have a person around you that maybe, do I feel ill about this person? Ugh. You could have a shady friend. I'm also being shown that if you are feeling, especially for those of you in communication with your twin, if you've been put in the friendship zone, and that has made you unhappy, they're also saying take a different approach. You're going to get some clarity here. This person may just want to go slow. Some of you also, I do feel, are looking at these things in a more serious note. And you do need to be your best friend. You do need to be kind to yourself and understanding. But at the same time, it may be by taking a different approach, I do feel you can have some surprising revelations. There could be a non-laughing matter relating to twin. You may not have the full story. This may be more serious than you think. I'm getting that you don't have the whole story, so don't, and I don't think this is bad towards you. I think there is something that has shifted that you don't have the complete story. This person is happy around you. Some of you could be thinking they're very happy in the current situation they're in. Hmm. There is your blessings are coming through this, especially within the joint connection. You might go through a stage where you feel, okay, where is that? Am I going to get my happy ending? Am I going to get some illumination? Is this person really serious? You know, will they want to rebuild with me? You do know your worth. You definitely know your worth. But there are some blessings coming to you for the spiritual hard work that you've done. And there is a method to the madness of this circumstance. Some of you are thinking about the new year and Christmas. Some of you are wondering if this is going to be wrapped up by then. Yeah, some of you are almost making a demand of this to universe. It's like, look, you know, send me this in the highest of alignment or open doors for me. Some individuals around you can be really zapping you. I do feel you're going through a spiritual change. I do feel you're tapping into it. Some of you can be dreaming about this individual, and it can have quite synchronistic meanings inside of it. There is something old coming up here, some unfinished business. I do feel the fatigue. Some of you are definitely feeling, look, you know, if we have any more upheaval, any more tower, any more, you know, ascension, some of you are just really quite run down. And I do particularly feel you might need to do an aura upgrade. So there's this negativity that can be kind of lingering through that you just don't have the energy. This can be around family and friends and any more breakdowns in life. You're just really quite spent. Some of you, I do feel you're ready to make some radical changes so that you can feel more rested. Yeah, this could be even getting away and trying to get space from people. This fresh approach, though, for some reason, I feel if you take it, I feel this can be where you can be looked upon in a different way. They're also saying that you will be the difference, like you will be the deciding factor. You are going to be given the perfect setting for this to come about. Some of you also may want to look a certain way, be a certain way before communication comes in. And, sometimes we can really go through these stages that we're saying to ourselves, I want the communication today, but then when it does come down to our feelings, our image, our vibration, we may second guess that. And there are some image changes really strongly happening here. This also could just simply be to do with divine masculine ascending and becoming the emperor. I definitely do see you entertaining the future in a different way. I definitely see that you don't want to have the same outcome as you had before. I feel you're seeing how powerful on your side of the fence, by your actions in changing, you are going to get a different outcome. And I'm really hearing that very firmly. There is something that is hidden from you. So sometimes it can mean that if we are getting triggered and we are having an emotional response to the circumstance, it's actually asking us to simply acknowledge that. And then when a dynamic does come up around the path, you can keep that very separate and it doesn't have to interfere with it. It's that emotional intelligence. But I do feel by changing an approach, you're going to have a different outcome. Some of you, especially for those of you that are in communication, I feel you're changing your approach again in a tactical way, and it is aiding you in having a major breakthrough in your reconciliation. Love and light. I will see you soon. Just be ready for the upheaval and changes. I do particularly feel, especially with this, you're going to be given the setting for it. I would give yourself a few days, especially moving into the next eclipse. And this can be a really beautiful time to tie up loose ends. This can be wrapping things up, revisiting circumstances, and really choosing what you're going to do with that Venusian energy moving forward. But do nurture yourself. Try to avoid pacifiers moving into the next eclipse, especially. If you do want coaching, come through and join our YouTube membership. Otherwise, I will see you for the joint connection and next week's updates.